What's up guys, jtmoffroad here. Today's video, we're getting rid of these TJ style fender flares. Going with some bushwhacker pocket style flares. So by now, you'll probably know through, I'm guessing it's going to be my last video. Someone's backing up. I'm going with some different style flares, and because I'm doing that, it's not ideal. I don't really want to do that. So I really like the style, the pocket style flares. Originally when I had this Jeep, I kind of wanted those. But at the same time, when I was starting out, I was more concerned about clearance, and I didn't really have lift yet on my Jeep. So I ended up going a kind of easier route to get a little more clearance, pretty much just cutting away the body. The TJ style flares stock offer a little more clearance in the back than the YJ ones, so I went with those, got those super cheap. And then in the front, the previous owner, they had a little bit of a fender bender, and they had crinkled the front of the little fender piece that comes out. It got crinkled in, pushed up some of the sides. It was on both sides, and I figured what I would do is just make a flat style flare. It's, you know, it's flimsy, but you know, the hood never has like flown up. I don't really have any supports under there. It's all just, you know, just that. So I cut all of that out and then just added like a 3-inch flare the whole way down. And this has worked pretty well. It's nice because if you hit a tree, you know, this, you know, bends up or bends down or however, and then you just bend it back. You don't really have to do any work with it. Really like that setup, but it's not optimal if you want to drive on the road. You got rooster tails flying up and you get pulled over. I just kind of want to ditch that, and I want to be able to drive on the road because I don't drive a whole lot, but it's still nice to just take it out and drive it around every once in a while. With the pocket flares, I can't really put those on that style fender anymore, since that's pretty much all the mounting stuff is cut away. Even if I did figure out a way to mount those on here, you don't have the front piece. It's just gonna look weird. So I figured, what the heck, I'll look online, see if I can find any fenders. You know, I'm sure if you've ever looked for fenders for a YJ, you know, roughly people want like 150 a piece for them. People think they're worth their weight in gold, I suppose. Anyway, I saw a guy selling a set, 30 bucks a piece online. I got a hold of him, offered 50 for both. He said sure. So I had to drive like an hour and a half, which wasn't bad, and got the fenders. These are them. They're not in the greatest shape, but they're better shape than the ones that were on the Jeep over there. So, you know, these aren't pushed in. Everything is pretty solid. There's some rust spots, but I mean, you know, Jeeps in Pennsylvania are old and rusty. So he had replaced the side marker lights with a different type. You know, these were just all painted OD green. So these are going to come off. I'm going to take these ones off, replace them with the ones that I have, just because those are black. I'll keep those as a spare. This is where the rust is, and this is all, it's nothing pushed through, it's just surface rust. So I'm going to grind everything down, paint it, and actually I guess this side is coming away a little bit. I'm sure there's probably some rust or something going back there, so I might try to just pound that and just tack this edge back in place. And then this is actually missing a little metal here too, so I don't know if I'm actually going to go through with, you know, cutting a piece out and welding that in or not. But just like a little bit of work that needs done, nothing major. So I'll take care of that. That's fine. But I'm just going to paint it all black for now. I really just want to get back out and drive the Jeep, because I haven't done it in quite a while. Probably, I don't know, I'd say at least a couple months now. So I do want to eventually paint these the same color as the rest of the Jeep, and I actually want to get rid of this color match paint. I think that was actually just a different variance, but I want to find the right color, and eventually I'll paint these too. So I'll take, you know, take the hinge off. I'll have the fender on, so I can just take the flare off and then just paint that whole area and get it to somewhat match that again. So I do like this color. There's not much of that color around. For now, just to get it driving, go ahead and paint these black, put it on, get the flares on, go drive it. But I do want to show you this. So I will keep that fender set up, and I'll probably just put it in my attic. But you do have to drill the TJ holes out, and you can see that the old mounting holes, they're further in. I never really took care of those, and I probably should take care of some of this rust before I go any further. I think what I'm going to do is pretty sure the new holes are going to be different for the pocket style flares. So I think I'm just going to clean these up, put some silicone in them. Tell me if this is a bad idea. I'm sure it probably is. But I'm going to put some silicone in these. And reason I want to do that, oh, come on, focus. There we go. I think I want to just put some silicone in these because I don't want to fill the holes in, just in case if I'm out off-roading and the pocket style flares end up being too low and they end up hitting and like just breaking off or whatever, I can't use them. I'll ditch the pocket flares, put the TJ flares back on, and then figure something else out. Or unless I go with something completely else. But until then, I come up with a more permanent solution. If the pocket style flares don't work, then I'll just silicone those up. That way I don't have to re-drill if I decide to go back with those. It's a lot of explanation just for some stupid flares. So I have a little work ahead of me, and before I go any further, I did have a problem with the tire flexing and pushing this, and it kind of pushed this out a little bit. So I think I'm probably going to try to cut some of this out, and then if there's a problem where it's coming away, because you can actually see through here into the body, go ahead and cut this up so it matches, and then I'm just gonna weld that in. So this will be flush, so that the tire's not going to be pushing anything out anymore. It should be more solid that way. So I got to do that. Probably going to do it on the other side too. We should be good. So enough of me talking. First I'm going to take this stuff off, all the stuff I don't need, and then I'll probably go ahead and just, you know, scrub everything down, clean it all up, and then I have a basis of where I need to start to see what I have to grind down, and we'll go from there. So let's do it. Alright, so both fenders are cleaned off and for the most part dry, and I started kind of massaging some of these rusted pieces back into place. Both the fenders are kind of like separated right here, so probably at least I think I'll just either tack these and then seal these, or just fully weld these all up, just kind of get those back together. Same with this side. Do something with that so they're not separated. As far as night goes, I don't know how much further I'll get with this. I'm going to start working on grinding all the rust down, and I'm thinking I'm going to find more rusty parts than I realized. The fender's really covered up some bubbles through the paint, so I have a feeling there's some other rusty spots, but you know, they're still in better shape than they were when I first got them. I only got them for 50 bucks. So I think it's still a pretty good deal. So we'll go ahead and get these cleaned up, see what we get done. Alright, so I didn't film all this. It was just a lot of repetitive stuff that was probably going to get boring after a while. But before these seams, you know, this was two pieces of metal that were separated, and I believe at some point they had put a bunch of Bondo on here, maybe in an attempt to seal this. Maybe when it was on the Jeep before, they had put all that Bondo on to try to help seal that seam, and then when they took these off, maybe they cut that. I don't know. Doesn't look pretty, but both sides are welded together. I ground this down pretty good. You know, it's wavy. It doesn't look the best, but I'm not looking for perfection here. So I got, you know, both sides done. Now that all of that is done, I started going over some of the other spots where there was some rust on the outside. I just got a little trigger happy with the grinder and went to town. So I got some of those spots ground out on all this. I'm actually going to be cutting a good bit of this metal off in the end. If it weren't for the fact that I didn't have this front piece, I probably would have made these work. Just that front piece was there, then I could have probably just like extended a little piece of metal down, some sort of bracket or something to make that work. But I still will be able to cut a whole bunch of this extra metal out, so I have a little more clearance for my tires. You can see there's a lot of holes drilled throughout the years of this Fender being around, and it was all filled in with, you know, some sort of Bondo or something. So, but still, they're relatively good shape. There's no major dents or anything. I think there is like a little bit of a dent on this side over there, but you know, I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna get beat up anyway. Next step is grinding down all this rust and getting all those major imperfections out. We'll go ahead and get that done, see how it looks after. Alrighty guys, that's about as far as I'm getting with these fenders for this video. I really wanted to get more, but running out of time and I want to get something up. So this is what's done. In the next video, I'm going to get the fenders kind of lined up where they need to be and then find out when I need to trim. So I'll trim all the excess off. I still need to trim the excess off there, weld that stuff up, and then do everything in the metal that I need to do. And then I'll go ahead and paint these, and then I'll be ready to mount. And then I can get the fender flares on in the back too. Alright, so that's the plan. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. We'll see you in the next one.